I want to use this video as a bit of a training session for those that watch my channel. So this will be a quick overview of what I look for in the markets, what kind of criteria needs to be met, what kind of software that I'm using to basically beat the market. So you can do the same, follow my footsteps. So you can see my tracked account here in my FX book. I'm in my 8th month now of trading profits, 33% gain so far. I look for 3 to 5% profit every single month, and I have a maximum drawdown cutoff of 15 to around 17% on this account. If I experience a loss, I can usually come back into profit or recover that loss within a 3 to 4 month period. So this is all very calculated in my approach. And I want you guys to hopefully listen up here as this is helpful information for you to beat the market as well. I know that some of you may be looking for big gains of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% within a month. And I could push my account here that you see in my FX book as well. But I choose not to do so because preservation of capital is more important than huge gains. This is something that if you don't realize now, you'll find out the hard way later on. So take my advice about this now. It will save you a ton of time. All right, so let's get started. So this is my main trade station over at Carbon Capital FX. This is a broker that I use and trust and work with overseas because I'm a US trader, and to get higher leverage I need to find brokers I trust overseas. And Carbon Capital FX has been great. They allow me to trade up 501 leverage, which is really awesome. So I am actually copying my trades from the MetaTrader 5 account that they have there of $3,120 to my Trader's Way account of $31,361. So you can see the bounce right here. And this is the same account that's being tracked on my FX book. You can see the stats right here at 33.59%. So this account's been running for starting into my 8th month of profit now. As you can see here, just starting in January. I'm going to be talking about my trades for this week. So far, it's only Tuesday, but 1.58%, $486, 7 trades taken, 100% win rate. So I'm really happy about my win rate so far this week. So really good stats, feeling comfortable with the markets so far. All right, so let's talk about the pound US dollar. So this is where a lot of my action and focus has been this week. You can see that I was taking a lot of positions, a lot of short positions all last week as well. All these closed out in baskets of profit. So typically how I work with my trading is I call a basket of trades, or a group of trades, a basket. So when they close out together, it's an overall gain, basically averaging into the position and closing all trades out together for a realized profit. All right, so my trades last week worked out really well, and the one that I'm going to be talking about today is right here. So this is right at the entry. The entry was 1.354 is what I'm looking at. And this was about a 66%, a 66 pip profit and about 1% gain on the account with just this trade alone. And so this was a substantial trade because there was a lot of criteria behind it of why I took this position. So I'm going to be loading up my indicators right now to give you a better idea of what I was looking for. So I don't need any indicators to really trade the market profitably, but I like the ones that you can see right here that are included with the Comeback Kid Manager EA because they give you a lot of good information. So for example, the weekly ADX, it's showing us the trend on the weekly time frame. The super trend, which is right here, is showing this line. This is a really helpful indicator as well. So we're using 2 multi-time frame indicators that are showing us where the trend is likely headed or where it's been headed over the last while. And we're using these multi-time frame indicators to give us more data, more information on the chart that we're currently looking at. So we're in a disagreement with the trend. So weekly is not in agreement with the daily trend on the super trend. But that's okay because we're looking at different types of things here than just the indicators. A lot of people just look at indicators and expect the indicators to really show them exactly where price is headed, and indicators are flawed. They're delayed, they're slowed, they're lagging. And this is something that a lot of people get frustrated with. That's why it's better to understand the markets, how they work and function without indicators first before working with indicators, because they can sometimes throw you off. So in this example, I'm looking at the bottom of the price right here. This might be a little bit small. I'm hoping that you can actually see, but I want you to see the overall picture. So price is expanding. So it's moving up. This is basically a rubber band. It's stretching. It's the stretching of price, and when price stretches to an extent, it it has a pullback. It has this retract, right? If you have a rubber band and you let go of it, it pops back, right? I had a trader give me this analogy, and it works so well. So you'll hear me talk about this a lot on the channel. So this push up, this stretch, and then this pullback. Push up, pullback, stretch, pullback, stretch, retract, right? And this idea of pushing a price in one direction. And the more aggressive this stretch happens, typically the more aggressive the retract or the bounce back that you get. So I saw this move that's happening right here, and I saw that there wasn't much of a retracement or a bounce back. This was all we had right here, then it pushed up higher. This was all we had right in here, pushed up higher, all we had right here. And they're just not substantial enough pullbacks or bounce backs for this type of price movement. So typically you'll see a much larger bounce back that takes place unless something else is going on. And in this case, there were other circumstances going on in the news. The pound was getting a lot of buying from other circumstances, having to do with the pandemic, bond buying as well in the UK, and other factors that affect price in so many different ways. And in this case, it was causing smaller pullbacks to happen. And because of this, I was noticing the smaller pullbacks and was eyeing a larger pullback to take place. And figuring that until that happens, I'm going to keep taking small little profits, small little snippets, until that larger bounce back takes place. And it took place, it happened. And my E&G candles, which is the one that's attached right here, was able to really spot the top of the move before it fell back down. You can see where my entry price is. I'm going to zoom a little bit further. You can see that I entered right up here, so I waited for price to fall back down a little bit. I closed out my 3 positions right before the end of the weekend, and then entered right within the first hour of the open of January 3rd. Expecting traders to start taking profits on their long holdings of the pound US dollar. A lot of times when price moves in one direction for an entire week with little pullback, you'll see that a direction change at the start of the next week is a likely scenario, and this is what actually took place here on the pound US dollar. So that's why I entered and was able to come out with 66 pips. So I'm actually entering, looking for another position since we're hitting a double top. This is the term that a lot of traders talk about. Double tops, double bottoms, whatever, and finding resistance again at the 135.5 level. And you can see that they even gave me a candle formation pattern showing that there could be some down movement here. So that's why I took a second position and currently in profit right now. So you can see the $1.09 profit. It's manifesting as $10 on my main account over at Traders Way. All right, so that's the trade, the 2 trades that are taken on the pound US dollar. I'm going to be talking about now my position on the US dollar Japanese yen. This was another a launch up. So this was a stretch of the rubber band, right, that I was talking to you guys about. And no big retracement, no correction. So there was this probably didn't even count as one. This was a small one right here, and then a much larger correction up here at the top. That's what I was looking for after a big extensive move like that. So how I usually calculate this, guys, is I usually look for the pip amount. So in this case, it was 134 pips with a small retracement of only 13 pips. I'm expecting more of like a 30 pip retracement after a 130 pip move like that. And so that's the stretch that I'm talking about, and then the bounce back, and was able to get the top. And you're probably wondering, like, how did you spot the top of that? Well, it's not too difficult. You can see the trend is up, right? The trend is up is also up on the super trend. I'm looking at my AMA indicator. I'm seeing that we're really overextended here. We're in crazy territory. We've already passed through all of my support resistance zones, or my resistance zones up here at the top. All 3 of them were basically broken through. So I'm looking at the candle formations, and in this case I got one here that was showing that there's some down potential, and I got another one up at the top. This was a reversal candle in my eyes. This was on a 30-minute time frame. This was a reversal candlestick pattern, and I got another one thereafter, right over there, showing that there was some downside potential and that there was going to be some selling happening with the US dollar. And this was right after the news. So I entered this trade 45 minutes before the main news that took place today, anticipating that there could be some down movement or some selling on the USD, took place, and I was able to come out with some profit here. So you might be thinking, why would you enter 45 minutes before the news? That's before high impact news. That's a dumb idea. It's one order, and this order has so minimal risk. I have a lot of room when multi-order trading, basket trading, if price decided that it was going to run up higher, I have a lot of room for that correction that I'm looking for to take place. I just was able to get it on the first trade. Really awesome. All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about before I end today is the US dollar Swiss franc. So this was a trade that I took on the 1 hour chart is what I was looking at. I saw a couple of things that interested me was the extending the rubber band push up that I was talking to you about, and there wasn't much of a retract or retracement or a correction. There's so many different ways to say this, a pullback. So it kind of fiddled in this area for a while, and I was expecting after that push up to be a little bit more of a move back down, and this was also before the US data that came out that was negative. This is the candle that I was looking at as an indication for more of a rejection. It didn't make a new high. It's a little bit sloppy. I like typically these rejections to make a new high of the previous one up here. But it was still a good rejection and showing that there was not a lot of momentum on the upside at this point, and it fell back down. I ended up coming out with about 15 pips profit on this particular trade. Not my best one out there, but it looked pretty good. So again, extension of the stretching of the rubber band down, aggressive move, and when I see aggressive moves like this without any kind of pullback in between, that means that we have a good trade potential setup at the bottom once price starts to slow down at the bottom. And a good indication is that of seeing that is the ENG candle setup, which is candlestick formations, and you can see that there was one down here at the bottom, showing us a significant candle formation that has a potential to bounce, or price will bounce at that point and give me the pullback that I'm looking for. And you can see that that actually took place. Basically, no drawdown, clean profit of about 60 pips right there. And then price did end up falling again. So right after I took my profit up here at the top, it kind of fiddled around and fell back down, retested the previous low, gave me another substantial candle entry, and shot back up, another 70 pips profit on that one. So really clean trades on the gold USD. And that's pretty much it for my trades. There's one last one on the Aussie Canadian dollar. So this one is right up here at the peak. So you can see that there's a rejection candle. So I made a new high of the previous candlesticks, and the body of the candle is really quite strong. And this was a really strong rejection candle at a significant price level. So you can see the movement of price up here, and it kind of topped out in this whole area up here. It went back down, came back up, and made some new highs, and then this one actually was the highest point and was a rejection candle, so that's why I took the trade setup, ended up coming out with 30 pips profit on that, and it extended even further down. You can see that there's another rejection candle on the Aussie Canadian dollar that took place right here, and price is even reacting to that. I didn't end up taking that one because I'm obviously doing just fine this week for my trading. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video today. I'm going to be talking more about how I approach the market to help educate you guys in my thinking and how I approach the market using the Comeback Kid Manager EA. This is my, well, this is Ranger EA up here as well, which also includes a trade panel. But the Comeback Kid is such a great trading tool for entering the market using multi-order trading or grid trading. And that's a really big edge of mine in approaching the market, and one reason why I've been profitable for the last over 2 years now is by using a trade manager like this that gives me my time back. Not only am I able to be a profitable trader, but I'm also able to sleep at night because the algorithm's able to manage my positions while I'm sleeping or away from my desk. It's just an incredible way to approach the market, and it's pretty nuts that the majority of, or a lot of you guys, are not seeing how powerful this software is. And I'm showing you with my live results. So hopefully you guys can actually take control of your trading and realize that you know, you can't have everything easy. You can't, an auto trade algorithm isn't always the best approach. Maybe having a hybrid approach, which is combining algorithmic trading with manual trading, maybe that's the answer. That's something that I've been doing in my trading and been having a lot of success in it. And I hope to teach more of you guys lessons like this to give you an idea of how to approach the market in a profitable way. All right, thanks guys for watching. Catch you on the next one.